Hey guys, welcome back, or I guess I should technically be welcoming myself back because it has been a little bit of a while since I filmed my last video. To be honest, I just needed a break. I needed to take some time away, not only from filming videos, but from filming and reading and almost anything to do with books. I was going through a little bit of a reading slump, and I thought, you know what, since it's the holidays, I will just step back, spend time with friends, family, socially distanced and appropriate, of course, and just do everything except read until I got my mojo back. So here we are. My mojo is back, hopefully. Even if it's not back, I wanted to go ahead and film this video in time for Valentine's Day because I thought that it would be fun and I missed doing these cozy up to videos. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video, which, as you can see from the title, is all about cozy mysteries themed around Valentine's Day. Now, the majority of the books that I do have on today's list are themed around Valentine's Day, obviously, so that you can have something appropriate to read leading up to Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day weekend, what have you. But there are one or two books on here that aren't necessarily Valentine's related, but definitely love related. So you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I get to the books. So without further ado, let's jump into the books. Okay, so first book that I want to talk about is Murder in the Paperback Parlor, which is book number 2 in the Book Retreat Mystery Series by Ellery Adams. And I absolutely adore this series. I'm not sure if I've talked about it on my channel before, but if I haven't, or if you've missed those videos, a quick recap about what the series is about. It's essentially centered around a book retreat, literally like a B&B type place where book lovers can go and basically spend the week or spend the weekend just immersed in books, reading. There's all kinds of different libraries and just a bunch of locations just perfect for settling in with a good book. And each book in the series is kind of themed around either different holidays or different events that the book retreat B&B has going on. This particular one, obviously, since I'm putting it in a Valentine's Day video, is set around Valentine's Day. And so basically our heroine, who is the manager of the book retreat, has her hands full because there is kind of a little Valentine's Day romance book event going on, and one of the authors that attends the event ends up being murdered. Naturally, she has to look into it and solve the mystery. Now, if you're not familiar with the series, I will say that it's kind of got a B subplot in terms of the heroine who figures out the mysteries, but I don't want to give it away because if I do, that would be spoilers for the first book. But regardless, it's definitely interesting. Whether or not you enjoy books about books, so to speak, this one is definitely fun. It's definitely atmospheric in the sense to where you wish you would have your own kind of book retreat place to escape to. And again, because it takes place around Valentine's Day, obviously I had to include it on this list. Okay, so the next 2 books are technically from the same author and the same series. However, it's wildly popular and I thought that it deserved 2 spots on this list because it's such a well-loved and really popular cozy mystery series. And of course, I'm talking about the Lucy Stone cozy mystery series. And the books specifically, I got my list here, is A Valentine Murder and Chocolate Covered Murder, which are books 5 and I think 26 respectively. If you are not familiar with the series, it basically centers around a mom of, I think she's got like 3 or 4 kiddos. And she also writes for her local penny saver, which of course is like the local, not necessarily newspaper, but maybe one of those freebie papers that you get at your local grocery store. And so in the middle of momming and writing, she's also solving mysteries, of course. And these 2 books take place during Valentine's Day. In terms of which one I particularly love the most, I'm gonna have to say, my phone is going off as soon as I'm trying to film a video. I'm gonna have to say Chocolate Covered Murder is my favorite, simply because part of it takes place essentially like at a candy store, meaning literally a woman is selling chocolates. She's actually the one who ends up being murdered, but It's less about who exactly gets murdered and more so, again, about the Valentine's Day theme, which is why I wanted to include both of these on this list. It's such a long-standing series that our author Leslie Meier has essentially lapped herself. And so she's got multiple books focused around different holidays. And for Valentine's Day, you've got both of these. So if you're a fan of the series and you haven't picked either of these up, pick up both, pick up one. It's going to be perfect for Valentine's Day regardless. Next up, we have Jenn McKinlay's Buttercream Bump Off, which is book 2 in her Cupcake Bakery mystery series. Now, I chose this one for a couple of reasons. One, obviously it had to meet the Valentine's Day criteria. And number 2, we've got the cupcake themes. I mean, I feel like Valentine's Day and cupcakes go hand in hand. So this book was just begging to be put on this list, right? So basically what we've got is that our main heroine and her business partner are getting ready to open up their cupcake store when a customer ends up dead. Excuse me, not a customer. Someone who is actually dating or has gone out on a date with one of their mothers. And so, of course, her mom is now a suspect because she was the last person to see this person alive. And so it's up to our heroine to figure out what happened. She obviously doesn't want her mom to be in any kind of trouble. And so she's got to get to the bottom of this while also juggling, making all these cupcakes, getting ready for their launch and what have you. So this one I haven't read, but again, super excited about it because cupcakes, I mean, I don't even need Valentine's Day as an excuse to read or eat cupcakes, but Valentine's Day is a perfect reason to talk about all things sweet, and cupcakes definitely fall on that list. Next up, we have Plum Lovin, which is Janet Evanovich's Stephanie Plum series, kind of a spin-off. I personally love Janet Evanovich's Stephanie Plum series. I read them years ago and devoured all 20 something. There might have only been 15 at the time, but I went on to read more of the books afterward. And within that time period, I read the spin-off series that features a side male character named Diesel. Now, if you're familiar with the series, you'll know that there is this will they, won't they love triangle relationship between Stephanie Plum, our bail bond bounty hunter heroine, and 2 men in her life, Joe Morelli, who is a cop, and then Ranger, who's kind of this ex-military bad boy. I don't know. Basically, Ranger and Joe are foil to one another, and it goes on and on about who Stephanie will get together with. Anyway, now in terms of the spin-off series, in the series, and there's actually a couple of books, Plum Lovin is only one of them, we have a third male introduced. His name is Diesel, and I actually really enjoy these series. If I'm being honest, it's because I get a break from the whole will they, won't they with Joe and Ranger, and it's just nice to have a new character introduced, and this book was no exception. I love Diesel's character. Why I wanted to put it on this list, this was a prime example. I chose it not necessarily because of the Valentine's Day, but more so the love relationship aspect. And what I mean by that is that Diesel has essentially come to Stephanie. He needs her help because one of her current bail bondies, bounties, I don't know what you call it, but basically Stephanie Plum is after this woman who is a supreme relationship expert. However, Diesel needs her help hunting down someone as well. And so the two of them agree to kind of team up and work together. He will help Stephanie find this relationship escapee while Stephanie helps him track down who he needs to get. I will say, if you're not at all familiar with the Stephanie Plum longer standing series, I think you're totally okay to still read these books, or this book rather, because again, it is kind of like a side plot, side mission set of books. I think, again, there are a couple of them in the series. I know for sure Plum Lucky is another one of them, and that takes place around St. Patrick's Day, but I love this one because, again, I think it might be set around Valentine's Day, don't quote me, but I wanted to include this on this list, again, more so for the relationship aspect, and I think it's so much fun. It's technically a cozy mystery in the sense to where you have a main hero slash heroine who is investigating murders or mysteries, even though that's not technically their day job. But I will say in Janet Evanovich's books, not every book has a murder technically, but I'm still considering it cozy mystery. So if you're at all familiar with the series, let me know below what you think of it. If you've read the spin-off, I'm definitely interested because the people that I've talked to, most of them have read the larger series, but not necessarily these little like side plot missions. Okay, last up we have Kate Carlisle's Murder Undercover, which is part of her Bibliophile Mysteries. I know for sure I have talked about this series at least once or twice on my channel because I absolutely adore it. It features Brooklyn Rainwright, a book restoration expert living in San Francisco. She's got a quirky family, and in each book you get a little bit of background knowledge in terms of how the bookbinding world works, how book restoration works. But again, the reason that I am including it on this list isn't necessarily because it is anything Valentine's Day related, but it is love related. The book that Brooklyn is currently working on is the Kama Sutra, and the reason that she gets her hands on it is that a friend of hers gave it to her to appraise and restore, and so naturally Brooklyn's doing her job, and her friend is also hoping that that kind of doubles as a little relationship booster with her current boo thing. Obviously, murder happens, blah, blah, blah. We all know that that's going to happen in each of these books, but that's not the part that I'm harping about. I think that this is a fun addition to the list because, again, not necessarily stereotypically Valentine's related, but definitely, you know, get your love on related in terms of, you know, being with the one that you are with and love. I'm blabbering. This is awkward. Anyway, I love this series, and you don't have to read any of these books in order, so if this one sounds good to you and you haven't read any of the other books, feel free to jump in. Okay, so that said, there you have it. I've got a little small roundup of Valentine's Day / love themed books. Let me know if you have read any of these. If so, what you think of them. I'm a little rusty with filming, but I am glad to be back, and I hope to have some more consistent videos for you guys. So in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and I will talk to you guys later. Happy reading and happy Valentine's Day. Bye!